Hello and welcome to StarlightFM with James Phillips in the morning. Now to Arthur Davis with the news.
Good morning, this is Starlight News. Shock last night as two elderly women from Capel-le-Fern trashed 12 shops in the centre of Dover. Patty Cleaver, 69, and her sister Deirdre Cleaver, 67, got the bus to Penchester late last night, angered that the local shop had run out of Werther's Originals. The criminals are being held in custody, and this is a sign that it is not just the youth that cause trouble in Dover. Further afield, and BP try their latest wacky trick to clear up the Gulf of Mexico oil spill. Bags and bags of human hair coming from all over the USA and some locations in northern Mexico are in transit towards the Gulf. BP claim that they are fashioning a giant hair mop to clear up the spill. That's all we know about that at present, but we'll make sure to let you know about the progress as we hear more of it. That's all today from Starlight Radio. Now to James for the weather.
Welcome to the weather. A dry and overly sunny end to the week, with some small showers on Sunday night. Temperatures high around south easterly areas such as Dover, with humid and summer conditions. Just to spoil the summer fun, a light outcrop of cloud will begin to form, followed with a storm due to banks of low pressure. In summary, a dry end to the week, with lots of sun but some stormy conditions later. Now to the James Phillips Show.
Hello and welcome to the James Phillips Show with
Arthur Davis,
Alex Miller.
James Coe.
and me, James Phillips. We've got a packed show today, guys, haven't we?
Yeah, we do, James, that we do.
And if you're feeling excited as we are, then you can message in and send shout-outs on our request section of starlight-imc.co.uk. And now for Starlight's bright new talent of the week.
Yeah, there's some great young talent out there, I have to say. I'm really looking forward to hearing that new song.
So I'm Arthur. It's called Trick Fate by AT featuring Jokestar.
There's a coffee on the table, barely cold, in the ashtray. He never would have thought when he woke up this morning today was gonna be his last day. No warnings, he was always joking with himself how that feel the smoke trace the skyline when he exhaled. That little rush made the lie he was living less. Hearing nothing but his heart beating through his chest. Before it got serious, he'd been telling stories of how every time he took he be hitting euphoria, and cause every new rock he got would cover up the pain. He would spend the child support just to do that shit again. But what happened next was only self-inflicted. His whole throat choked up, his vessels were constricted. His dilated eyes rolled up into his head. Little splutter in the darkness, the next thing he's dead. Don't try to trick fate. Fate will control you. Think about a new you, forget about the old you. Time to make a change. Don't do the same things you did in the past that had you going insane. Don't try to trick fate. Fate will control you. Think about a new you, forget about the old you. Time to make a change. Don't do the same things you did in the past that had you going insane.
There once was this guy who thought he was invincible. He thought he could control his life and skip the bull. He'd wake up, smoke it up before he even had his breakfast. He had just woken up. He didn't realize that his life was in another's hand, and that his life was planned out with another plan. It was so confusing and he couldn't understand why his friends left his side and his family abandoned him. He slowly realized he had to change his life, so with pain and struggle he managed to see the light. And for a couple of days the dude was clean and healthy. He felt better than ever, having no was helping him to see the real world and what he was supposed to be like. Working in a store, having a good life, but then fate snuck up behind him and snatched him right back. He chose his life at an early age and couldn't backtrack. 2 months after being clean, this came true. He was back to the pills and the a year later, and it all came crashing down. An ambulance pulled up to his house to find him on the ground. Rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. We thought it was impossible. He was gone, fate took him off his planet. He was my friend and I witnessed it, just couldn't understand it. How could he be taken away from me just like that? I hated God, I couldn't understand this. I felt lonely and I didn't know why he was gone. I knew he did some messed up things, but I thought he would move on. And I guess that's where I'm wrong. He chose his own fate. It was a life of pain and that he couldn't escape. We all choose our own paths, so let me tell you this, you gotta choose it carefully. What I'm trying to tell you is, don't try to trick fate. Fate will control you. Think about a new you, forget about the old you. Time to make a change. Don't do the same things you did in the past that had you going insane. Don't try to trick fate. Fate will control you. Think about a new you, forget about the old you. Time to make a change. Don't do the same things you did in the past that had you going insane.
And that was a very song, don't you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. But to be honest, I'm against censorship. I don't really like the fact that we have to cut all those words out.
I know, it sort of ruins the song, don't you think?
Yeah.
But it does protect people.
Well, you say that, but I think it's a breach of human rights, really. I don't know.
And how do children know about drugs? It's like a song with words you don't know. It's like listening to Chinese music.
Yeah, I get that. And it's like, these are just words. Why are we turning them into anything?
No, no, it's like, if you blank them out, the next time they hear the proper song, they're actually going to pay attention to them words more than they do the normal.
Yeah, it draws focus towards it. It draws focus towards it.
Well, we seem to have pretty heated opinions up here in the studio, but what do you people think at home? You can ring in or put on your opinions on the website, starlight-imc.co.uk.
I love opinionated people, personally.
Sometimes they can be a bit annoying if their opinions are not the same as yours.
Yeah, but then again, I'm opinionated and I love myself, so...
That is true, that is true.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a caller on line 1. What's your name,
excellent.
sir?
My name's Alex.
Hi. What's your opinion on censorship?
I'm really against it. Because it lets us not express ourselves fully. And that song now just about drugs, well, I've heard about it all, and I've heard it all. So it's not really much point about it.
I agree with that. I agree.
And everyone else will probably hear about it in secondary school. So it's might as well learn it now and save the trouble of just learning it.
It doesn't protect, because people just, want to
I suppose you're right, it does draw attention. It does.
But
And people grow up to learn about this thing all the time. It's not something you can hide.
But they shouldn't introduce it at an early age.
Well, yes they should, because it saves teachers having a stressful lesson.
Yeah, if you only introduce someone to something, the more likely they are to avoid it or learn about it quicker.
absolutely. But our teachers always used to avoid teaching our generation about drugs, so we don't really know much about that.
Well, getting him more in touch with the younger generation and teaching them more should help to stop anything bad happening in the future.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree, but that goes with the idea that censorship shouldn't be allowed, because if you can get taught about that, then there's no need to censor.
Maybe.
We learn about swear words, but they censor them out, so what's the point?
But you don't actually learn about them in class, technically.
No, you just learn it off other people, but we still learn it.
Yeah. And I agree with censorship in films. There is some inappropriate material in films that just shouldn't be shown until they're at least 15.
Like what?
Like nudity and sexual scenes.
We learn about that in secondary school.
Well, that's getting a bit explicit for Starlight Radio, so we're going to have to cut you off there.
Yeah, thank you for your opinion.
you.
We've had some listeners contact us with some shout-outs. There's one from Alan saying, "Can you say happy birthday to Samantha? She's 16 now and she knows she's listening right now." There's one from Steve. "StarlightIMC, you're the best. My little boy is in hospital nursing a broken arm and he needs all the support he can get. Do something for him." And there's one from Jeff. "I always listen to you every day. It's my birthday today. Hooray."
Well, that's great to hear. I'd love to say happy birthday, and happy birthday Samantha and Jeff.
Yeah, happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your day listening to Starlight FM. And now for Arthur Davis with an update on the news.
Hello, yes, I told you earlier about a story about two elderly women from Capel who trashed some shops near Penchester last night. Actually, Dan is at the scene now.
This is a hectic turnout with police cars everywhere. Nothing has ever happened in this quiet area before on this scale. I don't feel safe to go outside anymore, and neither do the residents here. I must guard my sweets in case any raving grannies assault me. And now back to up.
Wow, Dan, that sounds pretty bad.
That's absolutely atrocious. The citizens are in uproar.
It sounds like the situation in the Republic of Congo at the moment.
We need to get these old people off the streets.
Absolutely. They are causing mayhem. Right, thank you for that update. I did tell you earlier that I'd have more news about BP later, but unfortunately they've recently gone bankrupt and they haven't sent me any information. So back to James.